Hey, I'm Hope. I am a personal trainer and owner of Iron and Clay Fitness, and welcome back to my channel. This past month, I fell off the wagon, so to speak. So I'm going to be sharing my tips on how I get back on track with fitness and eating healthy and all of that good stuff. So I want to start off by saying it's totally normal to fall off the wagon. It happens to everybody. So cut yourself some slack. It's not that big of a deal. You've just got to get back on track with things. The past few weeks, we have been very busy getting settled. We just moved back to Iowa from Alabama. So I've been trying to organize the house. I've been trying to set up the gym and set up my desk and my office. So I just really haven't had the time and I haven't had the energy to work out. But things are finally settling down and I'm ready to get back into the full swing of things. So I'm going to share my tips on how I do that. Number one thing to do is identification. You want to identify the goal. For myself and for my clients, I like to identify two goals. The first one is usually your most cared about goal. So the thing that you really want to accomplish, and for most people it's a weight goal. So most people that come to me or that I work with want to lose fat. So that's typically the number one goal. And then I also have them set a fitness goal, something that they can strive for when they go into each workout each week. Maybe that's decreasing their mile run time, increasing their squat max, something along those lines. Tip number two is to set a realistic plan. When it comes to fat loss, your biggest thing is pairing exercise with nutrition. You have to have both of them to be able to reach your desired outcome. For nutrition, it's ideal if you can track calories. I know tracking calories isn't for everybody and it's not something you need to do forever, but it is a really, really great tool to be able to learn how much energy is in food and how much energy you actually need. So I highly recommend tracking calories. But if calories tracking isn't for you, you can also do habit tracking. So focusing on like eating protein at every meal, eating vegetables with dinner, something like that. And then meal prepping is another great way to stay on track with your nutrition. So carving out 2 hours on Sunday to cook all of your lunches for the week. It seems overwhelming when you think of it, but it's really not that difficult. One of the meals that I will typically prep is chicken breast, rice, and vegetables. It's easy, it's simple, I enjoy eating it. And when I'm in the middle of my workday, my lunch is not something I'm going to have like a fabulous meal, you know? Like it's not like a nice sit down dinner. It's something that's quick, that's easy, that's good for me, and that's gonna help me focus for the second half of my day. So that is really a great way to stay accountable when you have things prepared. It's more convenient to grab healthy food when it's already prepared in your fridge, ready to go. So highly recommend meal prepping at least one meal for every day of the week. The other plan you want to create is a fitness plan, so your workout schedule. It's important to identify how many days a week you can actually commit to working out. I would try to keep it between 3 and 5, depending on if you're just starting out or if you're experienced or what your goals are. There are a lot of variables, but somewhere between 3 and 5, a combination of strength training and cardio training. Cardio doesn't have to be anything intense. You don't need to be running 4 miles every day to see fat loss. You can go for a walk a couple times a week. Walking before you do your strength training, walking after you do your strength training. All of that counts and all of that adds up, and it's not anything that's too strenuous and it doesn't place a lot of stress on the body, but it still helps you increase your daily calorie expenditure. And then for strength training, there are a ton of online strength training programs that you can find. There are a lot of apps that you can use. If you want to use my strength training program called Iron Guide, you can go to my website. I will link that down in the description below. That is my go-to style of training when I'm really trying to build muscle and build strength. And it's just awesome. You get great results after 12 weeks of training. It's it's really fun to see that progression. The other training program I have available is High Iron Guide. That is a high intensity strength equipment based program. It's not how I typically train, but it was really fun to create that program and go through it. So if you are more of like the high intensity type style training person, check out High Iron Guide. But you can also create your own program. You can buy another program online. I really do suggest having a plan when you go to the gym. If you don't have a plan, it's not going to happen. You're not going to make fetch happen. You're not gonna, that was so cheesy. You're not gonna go to the gym if you don't create a plan at the beginning of the week. You're not going to, you're kind of just gonna mess around when you actually go to the gym if you don't have a plan for what kind of exercises you wanna do. So find a program, stick with it for anywhere between 8 to 16 weeks. And then step number 3 is execution. So you have to follow through, right? It's fun to create these big goals and plans, but you actually have to do it. You have to put in the work. So I like to write down my goals and put it on a sticky note, put it on my desk or like my bathroom mirror, somewhere where I'm gonna see that note every day, and it's gonna remind me of my goals and give me some of that motivation daily. It's also really important to do check-ins with yourself. So track your progress. For my clients, we check in once a week for 30 minutes. We'll go over calories, so we do an average of calories. We take a look at weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance, what was happening, what we need to adjust for the next week. And we also reflect on the workout program from the week before, talking about, you know, increased lifts, if you were able to add 5, 10, 15, whatever, 20 pounds to your lift this week. We'll also reflect on workouts throughout the week. So if you were able to increase any of your lifts, we'll talk about that, talk about the plan for increasing other lifts. We also talk about cardio training, how everything is feeling, how you're doing. So make sure you're checking in with yourself weekly. That's really gonna help you notice your progress. And when you can see the progress, that's when you become a little bit more motivated to stick with it and continue going. So those are my tips for getting back on track and staying on track. Remember, it's totally normal to fall off track. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just try again. Get back into the swing of things. That's all we're really trying to do, is just be the best that we can and work with what you've got. Give yourself some patience, give yourself some grace. You're doing good. If you have any specific questions, you can always reach out to me. I hope that you have a happy and healthy day.